Kenyan student Reinhard Bonke, who is currently in the United Kingdom at the University of Cambridge. He had already bought his ticket for his trip back home, and let's get to hear his thoughts. Hello, Bonke, how are you?
Lian.
Right, Bonke, now these changes could cause a great deal of travel problems for many in the United Kingdom whose families live in the affected countries, as they now literally have less than a week to get home. When were you due to travel home, and how does this ban affect your plans?
I was actually set to travel through the British Airways on the 4th Sunday, and as according to the requirement, both by the Kenyan government and the UK government, I already had my PCR COVID test for the travel certificate yesterday, and I have my certificate today, so I was so clear to travel, and also I'm getting the souvenir for my people at home. So I had to cancel my flight this evening. Luckily enough, I have my travel voucher, so I'll wait and see how the restrictions will go.
So you have your travel voucher, which essentially means that you are free to travel when this ban is lifted, if at all it is lifted, at whatever time in the course of this year.
Yes, my main reason to travel actually was to come in for data collection for my summer project, and also to see my folks back at home. And I was allowed under the current regulations before the 29th of March. According to the regulations in the UK, no one was allowed to leave the UK unless you are legally permitted to do so. So I was coming under the education permission, according to the revised regulations, that until today morning at around 10-12 a.m. when I got the communication from college. So I was set to travel as some of my colleagues under the current regulations, and I was allowed, I think, clear to travel a week ago by the UK government. But until this morning, when the new regulations, came into force.
As regards the COVID test, Reinhard, was this done at your expense? Did you have to pay for this? Just to go back to that, and under what terms will you, or essentially would you be quarantined upon return to the UK, and at whose cost?
As of 9 a.m. this morning, I did the COVID test under my own cost, of course, because there are certain government regulated or rather certified centers or certificates for me to use to access the Heathrow Airport. So I was to travel, and initially I was to come and self-isolate in my room while I stay in college, and my flight expenses was, of course, to be covered by the university, save for the COVID test. So I was to arrive in Kenya, proceed to Kisumu, where I was to collect data on water hyacinth and how the county has dealt with it. And then I was to come back on the 20th to self-isolate. I was to do 2 tests, the university normal test. But up to this morning, under the new regulations, if I make the risk of traveling, I would have to come back and stay at the government-regulated managed facilities, which will cost me around 1,750 pounds, which is way more expensive. And I got a communication from my sponsor, the Chevening Scholarship, and Cambridge University, that should I proceed with my traveling plans, I would have to cost or foot the bills of my quarantine costs. So I decided to cancel due to that effect.
Many thanks for sharing that with us, Bonke.